opinion question. Okay. All right.
Hello,
Thank
teacher.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ah, Mrs.
Yes,
Ha. Chào em.
yes.
Chào em. Chào em. I
Okay.
tried to call you before, but there was no reply.
Okay. I
And
was
never
in
mind.
the restroom.
There is,
Okay.
of course.
Yeah, okay.
How about you, Mrs. Ha?
I'm fine, thank you. Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. Good. So I was just asking Bao Lang how Bao Ling got on at her test, but I can talk to you later.
Yes, okay. Bảo Lan thi tốt chứ con?
Con chưa thi ạ.
Thế à? Hôm qua Bảo Linh, she was too nervous in speaking test. Okay.
Oh, was she? She was too
Yeah,
nervous.
yes, too
Okay.
nervous. Okay.
Okay. All right. We can talk about that later. Thank you, Mrs. Hart. Thank you. Okay. Who else can't I see? Kwang Ming, I can't see you yet. And Ming Nok has disappeared. Thank you, Kwang Ming. Now I can see you. That's great. And Fong Dok Ang. How are you,
Yes.
Fong Dok Ang?
I'm great, thank you.
Okay, good. All right. So we will get started, everyone, since it's already 5 past. So welcome to the class for today. What I'm going to do, first of all, in class today is I'm going to share with you the marking criteria, how they score the Ielts test, just in case some of you aren't familiar with this. And this will show you what the examiner is looking for when you do all 4 of your skills, but in particular, speaking and writing, we're going to be looking at. So I'll just share that screen with you now. Before we start, does anyone have any questions for me? Before we start? Okay. Okay. Bao Lang, can you see the IELTS speaking band descriptors?
Yes.
Okay, good. Is it big enough? You can read it clearly, Bao Lang?
Yeah, I can read it clearly.
Okay, that's great. Okay, everyone. So I will just share this with you just in case you haven't seen this before. So this is what you get marked on. Whoops. So as I have, I think, mentioned to you before, you get marked in 4 different categories. Okay, this is category 1, fluency and coherence. So fluency means, can you speak without stopping, without too many pauses? Okay, coherence means, does your answer make sense and are you answering the question? Lexical resource is just a very formal word for vocabulary. Vocabulary. Okay, how good is your vocabulary, or how weak is your vocabulary? All right. Grammatical range and accuracy, which is this one, grammar. That's all that means. How good is your grammar, or how bad is your grammar? Pronunciation. How good is your pronunciation? How bad is your pronunciation? Can the examiner understand clearly what you were saying? So those are the 4 categories that you are marked on. Band 9, which I'm sure you all know is the highest score you can get. Very difficult to get a band 9. There are many native English speakers who wouldn't get a band 9 in speaking. Very difficult to get a 9. So you can see what the examiner is looking for. For example, okay, to get a band 9 in fluency, okay, you have to have only occasional repetition or self-correction. Okay, that means you have to pretty much be able to speak confidently without repeating yourself and hardly ever making mistakes. All right, lexical resource for band 9. Okay, means you have to be using the correct vocabulary and also maybe some idioms. Grammar, again, structures are precise and accurate at all times. All right, so again, hardly any mistakes with grammar to get band 9. And of course, pronunciation, you have to be able to be understood. Okay, so that is band 9. Bao Lang.
Yes.
Bao Lang, what band are you aiming for?
For speaking,
Yeah, for speaking.
I think it's 7, I think.
Okay, 7. All right. So let's have a look at 7, Bao Lang. All right. So for fluency and coherence for band 7, okay, you have to be able to keep going and produce long turns. That means speak for the 2 minutes, okay, without noticeable effort. So in other words, you should be able to speak easily for 2 minutes, which you can do. I know, Bao Lang. Nok Ling.
Yes.
Do you have any idea at this stage what band you are aiming for?
I think I aim for band 7.
Band 7 as well. Okay. Ming Nok. Are you there, Ming Nok?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, Ming Nok. What band are you aiming for?
For speaking, I think
Yeah.
it's about 6 to 6.5.
6 to 6.5. Actually, Ming Nok, I think you can get 7. Okay.
Yes.
You can get 7. Leon. Chao Gon Leon.
Hello, teacher.
Okay. How are you, Leon?
I'm good, thank you.
Good. What band are you aiming for?
I aim. I think it's 6.
You're aiming for 6. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So just looking at 7, everyone. Okay. So as I said before, to get a band 7, okay, you should be able to speak easily for the 2 minutes. That's what this means here. Okay. You can see here some hesitation, repetition, or self-correction may occur. Okay. Some. So you can hesitate a bit. So for band 7, don't have to be perfect. Okay. Ming Nok, this is why I think you can get 7. All right. You don't have to speak 100% perfectly to get a 7. So you can stop a little bit. You can repeat a little bit. Okay. However, okay, you still must be able to make sense. All right. Lexical resource for band 7. Okay, must be able to discuss a variety of different topics. That means many different topics using the correct vocabulary. Okay, be able to paraphrase. All right, a little bit. So I know paraphrase is usually connected with writing, but also in speaking. Need to be able to paraphrase a little bit in speaking. Okay, you can see here for grammar, okay, a range of structures flexibly used. Okay, a range of structures. Normally, as you know, for the speaking, you will usually be speaking either in past tense or present perfect. Okay, very simple. Error-free sentences are frequent. Okay, it means you can make some mistakes as long as you make, and usually the figure I usually tell everyone, usually 50% of your sentences should be error-free if you want to get a 7, which means 50% of your sentences can have some mistake. Okay, so again, for all of you, getting 7, okay, is not out of the question. Okay. All right. Both simple and complex sentences can be used effectively. Remember, a complex sentence is just one that has 2 or more phrases or clauses in it. That's what a complex sentence is. Again, you can make some errors, a few basic errors. Okay. Are there any questions about band 7? So the main things to remember are 1, especially with speaking part 2, you must be able to talk for the 2 minutes and quite easily. You'll notice it says here without noticeable effort. That means You are not struggling to fill 2 minutes. You should be able to fill the 2 minutes comfortably, sounding comfortably. You can make some mistakes, as it says here, but you must have the vocabulary to be able to discuss a variety of topics. And just going down a little bit, for those of you who think you only want to get 6, again, for all of you, okay, should be achievable. All of you should be able to do a 6, especially with those of you who've been studying with me for a little while. I'll make it a little bit bigger. Whoops, too big. Okay. Again, for a 6, able to keep going, okay, and willing to produce the long turns, right? That means, again, you should be able to speak for the 2 minutes, all right? So coherence may be lost at times as a result of hesitation. So you don't have to be perfect to get 6. You can make some mistakes. You can stop and start again. It's okay. You can still get a 6 as long as you keep going. All right. Yeah, but looking here at grammar. All right. Although errors frequently occur in complex structures, these rarely impede communications. It means you can still communicate clearly, even though you are making some grammar errors. Okay, you can do that, still get a 6. Okay. Are there anyone looking at this, reading at this? Does anyone have any questions? Huang Ang.
Yes,
Okay,
I
looking
guess.
at this 6. Do you think you could get a 6, Huang Ang?
I think if I had some training and remind, I can get this
Yeah,
quite
I think
easy.
so. I think so, Huang Ang. Chung Hu.
Yeah,
Okay, do you think you could get 6?
I think I can.
Yeah, I think so,
Yeah,
Chung
yeah.
Hu. Do you have a target in mind, Chung Hu? Do you know what
No.
you want to score for speaking?
I think I will try to get like big in talking, I guess.
Yeah, I think you should be able to get a 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
And yeah, remember also you can get, of course, I'm sure most of you know this, but you can get 5.5, 6, 6.5, 7, 7.5. Okay, so you can get halfway. But hopefully all of you should see that you can still, like I say, make mistakes and get a 6. Okay? If you want to get a 7, of course, you have to be a little bit better and not make so many mistakes. But all of you in this class should easily be able to get a 6, and just with a bit more practice, be able to get a 7. So the difference between 6 and 7, just in case you are thinking, well, what is it then? The difference between 6 and 7, first of all, in fluency and coherence. To get a 7, you have to be able to speak for 2 minutes comfortably. Okay? Sound comfortable and relaxed when you are doing it. To get a 7 in coherence, you must be able to make sense all of the time. With 6, you can make some mistakes with your coherence. But for a 7, what you are saying must make sense all of the time. All right. Vocabulary for a 7 probably just needs to be a little bit better. All right. Maybe use a few more complex words, maybe a couple more idioms. All right. Grammar, again, just needs to be a bit better, not so many mistakes with a 7. And again, pronunciation, again, not so many mistakes. I think for all of you, your pronunciation is actually pretty good. So none of you would have any problem with practice getting a 7 in pronunciation. Okay, are there any questions before I finish this? All right. Stop that. I'm going to stop the share. Okay, so what we're going to be doing, first of all, is I'll just remind myself. So if you do have any questions anytime about how your score is assessed, let me know. But I wanted to share that document with you just so you understand what the examiner is looking for. So, what is the key to writing and speaking fluently and coherently? Ladok ang.
Yes.
What is the key to speaking and writing fluently and coherently?
Is
Just read what you can see on the screen. Ladok ang.
student to use
Can you see what is the key to writing and speaking fluently
yeah.
and coherently?
60 commonly used word by
No,
band.
what is the key? Here's the question here. Okay, what is the answer to this question?
I think is to use more advanced
Here-
word academic.
Here, no, it is much simpler than this. Here is the question. What word have I highlighted?
Vocabulary.
Yes, vocabulary. Vocabulary is the key, everyone, to speaking and writing fluently and coherently. Okay, the better your vocabulary is, okay, the higher your chances are of getting a better mark. Okay, so the more words you know and how to use them, the better. So what we're going to be doing from now on, I'm going to be showing you, all right, 60, as you can see here. Leon, can you read what I've highlighted, please?
Yes. 60 commonly used words by band 7, 8, and 9 students to improve your IELTS score.
Okay, good. So what we're going to be looking at over the next few months, everyone, is the most common words used by band 7, 8, and 9 students to improve your IELTS score. So I'm going to be showing you these words and discussing them with you. The important thing, everyone, because of course, it will be easy for you to forget them if you don't use them. So you should be keeping a list of these words. Write them all down and practice them at least once a week. Okay, practice using them in a sentence. That's the only way, that is the best way to remember any word, is to practice using it in a sentence and to practice it often. All right, so I'm going to give you 5 words every week, which is not too many. So during the week, over the next 7 days, you must take time to review this list of 5 words I have given you and practice using them in a sentence by yourself. That is the only way you're going to remember these words. So you do need to write these words and their meanings down and how to use them in a sentence. Does anyone have any questions about that before we start? Okay. All right, we're going to look at the first 5 words. I'm just going to get the video for you. Actually, before I do that, must make sure that you're going to be able to hear it. Might help. All right, should work this time. Ledok ang.
Yes.
Can you see the screen, the video
Yes.
screen?
I can.
Okay. All right, everyone. So please listen, pay attention to the video. Thank you.
Is viable. This means able to work or succeed. Synonyms of this word are feasible, workable, or the most common one would be possible. This is an adjective, and common collocations are viable option or viable alternative. For example, the project is not a viable option without more funding.
So I'll just remind you, remember, a collocation is a collection of words that often go together. Okay, so in this example, he's talking about viable option, okay, viable option. Viable just means something that is doable or possible, but it's a more formal word. So very useful for getting a score of 7. A viable option means a choice that is possible.
Let's look at how our Band 7, 8 and 9 students use this in their real essays. A viable solution is to heavily punish lawbreakers.
Okay, a viable solution is to heavily punish lawbreakers. Possible is another synonym for viable. Okay, a possible or doable solution is to heavily punish lawbreakers. The collocation, as I mentioned before, viable option, viable solution. These two words often go together as a collocation. Viable option, viable solution. Okay, so that's the first one. Viable option, viable solution. So I'm going to ask each of you now to send me. Actually, I'll do this. It will take too long to write them down. I'm going to ask you to use the word viable in a sentence, all of you. Okay, so you can see an example here. And I'll go back just slightly. Sorry about the ads. Okay, viable. Okay, able to work or succeed. Synonyms: feasible, workable, possible. Okay, viable solution
Is to heavily punish lawbreakers. So
thank you, is to heavily punish lawbreakers. So, Leon.
Yes.
Okay, can you use the word viable in a solution in a sentence for me, please? Viable solution or viable option. Can you use that collocation in a sentence, please, for me? Okay, let me give you an example, everyone. A viable solution to the traffic in Hanoi is to have less cars. Does that make sense, Leon?
Yes.
A viable solution to the traffic in Hanoi is to have less cars. So I need you all to think of an example similar to that, okay, to tell me. Come back to you in a moment, Leon. Bao Lang,
Yes.
can you give me a sentence with viable solution or viable option, please?
Learning English through some videos on YouTube is a viable solutions to improve our English.
Perfect. Okay, is a viable solution to improve some English. Leon.
Yes.
Okay, have you got a sentence yet?
I think so.
Okay.
Yes. My sentence is the team is working hard to find a viable solution to the problem.
Okay, good. Viable, so your team is working to find a viable solution to the problem. Excellent. Ming Nok.
Yes.
Okay, Ming Nok. Viable solution or viable option. Can you give me a sentence with either of those two collocations?
Yes, and there is a viable solution to air pollution is using alternative form of energy such
Good.
as
Good, that's fine. That's all I want. Just a simple sentence, everyone. Thank you, Ming Nok. Okay, this doesn't have to be complicated, everyone. Okay, I just want a simple sentence with you using the collocation viable solution or viable option. Okay, remember, viable option means a possible choice. So, for example, I'll give you one. A viable option to traffic in Hanoi is to build a railway. an underground railway, a viable option, okay, to traffic problems in Hanoi is to build an underground railway. Okay, so next, thank you, Ming Nok, that was perfect. Next is Quang Minh, Leduk Ang, and Ting. Quang Minh,
Yes.
okay, your sentence, please.
Listening to podcasts every day can be a viable plan to enhance our IELTS band score in listening.
Okay, a viable score. Very good, Quang Minh. Excellent. Leduk Ang and Ting and Nok Ling. Leduk Ang.
The viable way to go into the concert is to buy a ticket, right?
A viable way to, yeah, you probably wouldn't use it like that. Okay, a viable way. Yeah, it's sort of correct, but you probably wouldn't use viable like that. Okay, like I say, it's usually used in conjunction or together with words like viable solution, viable option, viable plan. Does that make sense, Ledok Ang?
Yeah.
Okay, is usually used with words like that. Viable way, yeah, it's not wrong, but not usually used like that. Okay, Ting.
Doing many exercise is viable to improve your score at school.
Okay, is a viable way, you would
It's
have to
viable
say.
way.
A viable way to improve your score. Okay, fine. So next is Nok Ling, Huang Ang, Chang Hu, Fung Ledok Ang. Nok Ling.
Yes. A viable solution to protect the environment is reducing plastic items.
Good, perfect. Huang Ang.
I think one of the viable options to deal with obesity is to encourage people to do more exercise such as walking, jogging, or swimming.
Perfect. Okay, so now you are all speaking at band 7 level. Okay, this is good. You are giving me band 7 sentences. In fact, probably band 8 because there's nothing wrong with your sentences. Okay, or even band 9. Okay, so these are the sort of words which are what I'm showing you now that will help you get 7, 8, or 9. Chung Hu.
Yeah.
Okay, your sentence, please, Chung Hu.
I think a viable way to master badminton is to learn basic thing about it first.
Okay, good. All right. So everyone remember, viable just means possible. Okay, possible or doable. Fung Ledok Ang.
A viable solution for people want to relax is taking a walk.
Good. Okay, good, everyone. So hopefully that makes sense to everyone. Is there anyone I haven't asked? Anyone I missed out? Okay, good. All right, so viable is word number 1. Let's go for word number 2.
So in your essays, you will often be asked to write about solutions or alternatives. So adding the collocation viable solution, viable option, viable alternative will hopefully boost your score. The next word is schooling. This means the education you get at school. Synonyms of this word would be education, learning, or training.
The eyeglasses industry made billions keeping you in the dark, but this invention is about to change everything. There is a new pair of self-adjustable glasses.
And this is a noun. Common collocations of this word are primary schooling and secondary schooling. For example, good primary schooling is important for a child's future. And if we look at a sentence from the 100 essays, in Vietnam, the average class size is 20 students, which makes it difficult for educators to provide proper schooling for each student. Education is one of the, if not the most common topic for task 2 essays. So a very, very useful word, useful synonym to use in there instead of education, training, things like that. The next word.
Okay, so here we go again, everyone. Schooling. Okay, this word should be familiar to most of you. So I want sentences using the word schooling. Schooling. This time I'm going to start with Chung Hu, Huang Ang, Fung Ledok Ang. Okay, Chung Hu, are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, Chung Hu, a sentence with the word schooling, please. Schooling.
For me, the best primary schooling is the type of school who care about students' mental illness.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you, Chung Hu. That's good. Remember, everyone, I just want a simple sentence. Doesn't have to be complicated. Huang Ang,
Um, the best way.
schooling.
I think the best way to improve secondary and primary schooling is to like is to uh include the student centered learning in classrooms, which
That's
is
fine. That's all. That's fine. That's all I need. That's good. Okay. Thank you, Huang Ang. Remember, everyone, schooling is just a synonym for education. Okay. And as always, it's useful to know lots of synonyms will help you get a better score so you don't repeat the word education all the time if you're writing an essay or talking about education. Fung Ladok Ang.
She is finished her schooling in Paris.
She has finished her schooling in Paris. It's great. Good. So next is Nok Ling Ting Laduk Ang. Nok Ling.
Yes. Schooling should be improved to be suitable for all students.
Good. Ting. Ting. Oi.
Wait, let me think.
Okay, everyone should be ready to go. Okay, so Ting, Laduk Ang, Quang Ming, Ming Nok, Bao Lang, Lian. Okay, I'll come back to you, Ting. Laduk Ang. Simple sentence using the word schooling, please. Remember, it's a synonym for education. Quang Ming. Quang Ming.
Yes. In some research, they point out that most children in Africa don't receive enough formal schooling.
Good. Ledok Ang.
The English knowledge at the school may not be suitable for schooling.
Not quite. English knowledge. How about something like this? Schooling in Vietnam should be free. Okay, simple sentence. Remember, schooling is just another word for education, everyone. Ting.
Schooling in Martinet is very difficult.
Good. Ming Nok.
Everyone should be provided universal access to schooling.
Perfect sentence, Ming Nok. Band 9 sentence, Ming Nok. Bao Lang.
Her schooling ended after the graduations.
Okay, good. And Lian.
He values the importance of schooling for her children's future.
Perfect. Perfect sentence. Great. Okay. Anyone I missed out? Okay. Next word. So we have two words so far, viable and schooling. Again, schooling, just a synonym for education. Useful to know synonyms.
Word is renowned. This means famous or respected. Synonyms of this word are well known, famous, and celebrated. This is an adjective, and common collocations are renowned expert or renowned for, although you could add in athlete, musician, company, many different things that are well known and respected. They are famous for something. This is very useful for use in examples. So often in examples, you're going to pick someone very well known or famous that demonstrates the point that you're making. Here's an example sentence. He is a renowned expert in the field of biology. And let's look at how our students use this in their essay. For instance, after opening a branch of Apple Company in Dubai, many local graduates were thrilled by the good news of being accepted to work under this renowned company.
Okay, everyone, so renowned is how it's pronounced, renowned, and it means famous. Renowned just means famous. Again, it's another useful synonym. So simple sentence would be, she is a renowned singer. Okay, so everyone have your sentence ready, please. This time I'm going to start with Huang Ang, Nok Ling, and Ting are the first three. Huang Ang, are you ready?
I guess.
Yeah.
One of the things that make Tens famous is his aim and his unbelievable sense of
This is a very complicated sentence, Huang Ang. Can you give me a simple sentence, please, using renowned? Okay, just a simple sentence. I'll come back to you in just a moment. Nok Ling.
Vietnam is renowned for its diverse cuisine.
Vietnam is renowned for its diverse cuisine. Is perfect. Remember, renowned is just famous. Vietnam is famous for its diverse cuisine. Vietnam is renowned for its diverse cuisine. Ting.
MIT is renowned school to study.
Sorry, MIT is?
Renowned school.
Is a renowned school. Perfect, Ting. Excellent. Huang Ang.
well, Japan is renowned because of their people's politeness and friendliness.
Okay. Japan is renowned for the politeness and friendliness of the people. Is better. Okay, Huang Ang?
Okay.
Japan is renowned or famous for the politeness and friendliness of the people. Okay, good example though, Huang Ang. Okay, next, Le Duc Ang, Quang Minh, Minh Ngoc. Le Duc Ang.
The Weeknd is renowned for his music videos.
Great. Quang Minh.
Football is one of the most renowned sports in the world.
Football is the most renowned. Yeah, you could use it like that. Okay, thank you, Quang Minh. Minh Ngoc, Bao Lang, Lien, Phung Le Duc Ang. Minh Ngoc.
Italy is renowned for pizza.
Yep, perfect. Bao Lang.
Hanoi is renowned for many ancient buildings.
Lien.
The artist is renowned for his paintings.
Good. Or remember, renowned is an adjective, so you can just say he is a renowned artist if you wanted. So you can use it like that. Thank you, Lien. And finally, Phung Le Duc Ang.
Beethoven is a renowned composer for classical music.
Perfect. Okay, good, everyone. All right. Are there any questions so far with this? Okay, renowned just means famous. Next word. Two more to go, by the way.
So instead of saying famous company, they've added renowned. The next word is prime, and no, it's not a drink made by Logan Paul. This means the best or most important. Synonyms are best, top, main, and this word is an adjective. The most common collocation is prime example, but you could also swap this out for prime advantage, prime disadvantage, prime solution, prime reason, Often in your essays, you'll be talking about these things. So if you want to describe these things as the best or most important, you can add prime before those words. An example sentence is, this is a prime example of excellent customer service. And in our essays, one student wrote, the prime disadvantage is that these companies use the natural resources of developing nations recklessly, which affects the environment. So
Okay, so prime does mean best, okay? Best, it can also mean the most obvious. Prime can mean best, okay? So you can have prime example of something, a prime example, the best example. The prime example of Vietnamese cuisine is pho, would be a sample sentence. Prime can also mean most obvious. Okay. A prime example of the traffic in Hanoi is the number of motorcycles. Okay, so two slightly different meanings there with the word prime, but the most usual one is it means best, best. Okay, sentences, everyone, this time starting with Quang Minh, Le Duc Ang, and Ting. Quang Minh, Le Duc Ang, and Ting, using the word prime, please. And remember, prime is a synonym for best or most obvious. Quang Minh.
The prime solution to prevent global warming is using carbon neutral transportation.
Okay, band 9 sentence, Quang Minh. Excellent. Prime solution. Excellent. Le Duc Ang.
The prime way to study studying.
Sorry, the prime way
to study is to do homework.
Its prime way to study is to do homework. That's fine, the Duc Ang. Thank you. Ting.
Prime to look some partial work is thinking on different way.
Okay, thank you, Ting. All right, next is Phong Le Duc Ang, Lien Bao Lang, Ming Nok. Phong Le Duc Ang.
The prime reason cause to air pollution is human.
Okay, good. You would say the prime cause. Don't need to say reason in that sentence. Okay, Phong Le Duc Ang. The prime cause of air pollution is humans. Does that make sense?
Yes.
You can just say prime cause. You don't need to say the prime reason of the cause. Just prime cause is fine. Leon.
Only my internet is not good. Can I do it last?
Say again, Leon. Sorry, can't quite hear you.
My connection is not good, so I don't know the word is.
Okay. Sorry, Leon. Just have to keep going. Bao Lang.
Yes. His prime concern is his financial burdens.
Excellent, Bao Lang. Good. Prime concern. Okay, prime concern. Ming Nok.
The prime disadvantage of industrialization is air pollution.
Good. Okay, so there is another meaning which you are using correctly. Okay, prime can also mean first. Okay, so first, best, most obvious. Nok Ling, Huang Ang, and Chang Hu. Nok Ling.
Yes. The prime advantage of reading book is improving your knowledge.
Good. Huang Ang.
I think the prime purpose of learning is to acquire knowledge that will be useful in the future.
Perfect. Band 9, Huang Ang. And Chang Hu.
The prime can help reading book is it can help you increase your imagination.
Okay, good, everyone. Okay, great. All right, just one more word, everyone. One more.
Very, very good topic sentence there, talking about advantages and disadvantages. But the great thing about this word, like many of the words on this list, is it can be used interchangeably throughout your essays. The next word is prone, which means likely to do or experience something. Synonyms are likely, inclined, and susceptible. This is an adjective, and a common collocation is prone to errors. But it's not just prone to errors. The collocation will normally be prone to, but you can swap out errors for other things that people are likely to experience. So an example sentence, children are prone to making mistakes when they are learning.
Okay, so prone, everyone, means likely to do something. Likely to do something. So here is an example of one word, okay, can take the place of several words. So instead of saying children are likely to make mistakes, children are prone to make mistakes. Children are prone to mistake making. So prone just means likely to do something. I will tell you, by the way, there is another meaning to the word prone, which has nothing to do with likely to do something. Prone means to lie flat, means to lie flat. An example of that would be she lay prone on the floor. She lay prone on the floor means she lay flat on the floor. Okay, so completely different meaning. So if you ever read this word, okay, just remember it does have two meanings. But prone, the way we are using it today, means likely to do something. She is prone to making mistakes. She is likely to make mistakes. Okay. In winter, the weather in Hanoi is prone to be cold, likely to be cold.
And in our essays, we have, thus, people that have a diet based on plants and seeds are more prone to have a healthier life because they are allow their bodies to focus their energy in its normal processes. And before you start writing, this student made grammatical errors, yes, these are real essays. These are real human beings that make mistakes. We're giving you real sentences, not polished fake ones. I hope
Okay, everyone. So prone. Prone means likely to do something. All right. So everyone, one more sentence using the word prone. This time I'm going to start with Ming Nok Bao Lang Lian Fung Laduk Ang. Ming Nok.
The weather in the winter are prone to be dry and cold.
The weather in the winter is prone to be
Yes.
dry and cold. Okay, good, Ming Nok. Bao Lang.
This area prone to flooding.
Sorry, this area is prone to.
This area is prone to flooding.
This area is prone to flooding. Perfect. Okay, this area is likely to flood. This area is prone to flooding. Japan is prone to earthquakes. Earthquakes are likely to happen in Japan. Same meaning. Thank you, Bao Lang. Lian.
He is prone to catching cold during the winter.
Good. He's prone to catching cold during the winter. Fung Laduk Ang.
The population of the world is prone decreasing.
Okay, good. All right. Next is Ting, Laduk Ang, and Quang Ming. Ting, Laduk Ang, and Quang Ming. Ting.
He is prone to have scholarship because of his invention.
Sorry, he's prone to.
Have scholarship.
He's prone to have. Yes.
Scholarship.
Yes. I see.
Scholarship.
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 Doesn't quite work like that, Ting. He's prone to have a scholarship. Prone. Yeah, I know it means likely to have something, but it's not used in regard to a word like scholarship. Okay, It's more, hard one to explain, but usually not associated with something that is good. Not usually. Okay? Leduk ang.
They are prone to be scared when watching a horror movie.
Yeah, he's prone to be scared when watching a horror movie. Kwang Ming.
Yes. Diabetic people are prone to have severe health problems like heart disease.
Yeah, band 9 sentence, Kwang Ming. Excellent. Okay, and then next, finally, Nok Ling, Huang Ang, Chang Hu. Nok Ling.
Yes. The older prone to have more experience than the younger.
The older are prone to have more experience. Yeah, that's true. Okay, Nok Ling, good. Huang Ang.
Liars are prone to speak influently and having excuse.
I guess that's true, Huang Ang. Okay, good. Good. Original sentence, Huang Ang. Very good. And Chang Hu. Chang Hu.
Um, um, what's the word I have to use again?
Prone. Prone.
Prone. Mm.
Okay, please pay attention, Chang Hu. Okay, prone
Yeah.
means something is likely to happen. Okay, like for example, children are prone to making mistakes, is the example from the video. Okay, children are likely to make mistakes. Or the weather in Hanoi in winter is prone to be cold, likely to be cold. Okay, everyone, so those are our words for today. Viable, schooling, renowned, prime, and prone. Another 5 words next week till we get up to our 60. Are there any questions before we move on? Okay. Okay, Leon, I've just seen your message. That's fine. Okay, now where are we going to now? All right, we are going to just practice again part 2 speaking. First of all, we're going to listen and watch a band 9 student give a part 2 answer. I'm going to ask you the same question.
Enjoying this video on IELTS writing. If you want to,
I think we've seen enough of that. Okay, this is the one I want to share with you. Nok Ling, can you see part 2 speaking on your screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. All right, everyone. So please listen to what she has to say. You'll see the topic in a moment too.
Last year, my mom, who usually prepares the meals at home, she was away for vacation. So I was in charge of cooking the food at home. I learned to prepare this meal, which was pasta arrabbiata. It's very simple to some people, but from perspective where I've never really cooked anything at home, it was like a big step for me. I learned this recipe online. Like I just skimmed through a random website and I started following the recipe. And I actually had a bit of help from my cousin. The reason why I chose this food to prepare was because my dad really enjoys pasta arrabbiata. He wouldn't eat any other type of pasta except that for some reason. It doesn't have any like meat. It's just literally pasta and sauce. And it was pretty quick. Like when I started preparing it, it didn't take me that long, which I liked because I hate spending hours in the kitchen just waiting to cook meat to eat something. I think that takes the fun out of cooking because I just want it quick. The part that I liked about the meal that I prepared was that it was quick, but also at the same time it was very delicious. Like I added organic tomato. I used not like the canned sauce. I made it from scratch, so that's what I enjoyed about it.
So we've been talking.
Okay, I'll go through this one more time because maybe there are some words, some idioms that are new to you. All right? Okay, so you can see her cue card, all right, which is this. Describe some food or drink you learned to prepare. You should say what food or drink you learned to prepare, where and when you learned, how you learned to prepare this, explain how you felt about learning to prepare this food or drink. You will notice that this person, this student, got a band 9 score, by the way. Okay, first of all, notice the way she talks, very relaxed, okay, very comfortable. Doesn't speak too fast. There are some pauses when she's talking, but they're very natural pauses. So she's very relaxed, very natural. She uses mostly very simple vocabulary, but her vocabulary is quite wide in that she uses a lot of different words, but mostly simple words. And the last thing I want you to notice is she tells a story. She tells a story of when she had to cook a meal at home. Okay.
The meals at home. She was away for vacation, so I was in charge of cooking the food at home. I learned to prepare this meal, which was pasta arrabbiata. It's very simple to some people, but from
Okay, this word that's coming up here, perspective. Perspective just means point of view. Okay, from my point of view, from my perspective.
Perspective where I've never really cooked anything at home. It was like a big step for me. I learned this recipe online. Like I just skimmed through.
Okay, words you should know, skimmed. Okay, skimmed is an idiomatic word, means the same as scanned, means to read quickly. To skim through something is to read very quickly. Skimmed, skimmed, to skim. Okay, but she's talking past tense, of course, so she makes it skimmed. To skim through something just means to read quickly, same as scan. Okay? Random website. Okay, random just means any website. A random website is maybe the first website you see when you go on the internet. Random just means any sort of website.
A random website, and I started following the recipe. And I actually had a bit of help from my cousin. The reason why I chose this food to prepare was because my
Okay, so remember she's telling a story. So the first part of the story was a time she had to cook at home. Okay, next part of the story was why she chose this particular recipe. Okay, so her story follows along, very easy to follow, and it follows along logically. So at the beginning of the story, she says, well, this is what I had to do. And then she says, this is why I had to do it. Then the next part of the story is going to be how she did it.
My dad really enjoys pasta arrabbiata. He wouldn't eat any other type of pasta except that for some reason. It doesn't have any like meat. It's just literally pasta and sauce. And it was pretty quick. Like when I started preparing it, It didn't take me that long, which I liked because I hate spending hours in the kitchen just waiting to cook me to eat something. I think that takes the fun out of cooking because I just want it quick. The part that I liked about the meal that I prepared was that it was quick, but also at the same time it was very delicious. Like I added organic tomato. I used not like the canned sauce. I made it from scratch.
Okay, to make it from scratch. So she's using idiomatic language here. And one reason why she got a band 9. To make something from scratch means to make something from the beginning. Okay, it means I made it right from the beginning. Right from the beginning. I didn't use anything that I bought in a packet or in a box. Okay, I made it from scratch, made it right from the beginning using all the different ingredients. Does that make sense to you, Ming Nok?
Yes.
Okay, to make something from scratch means to make something from the beginning. Okay, again, just a useful idiomatic phrase to use. And students who get band 9 maybe only use one of these, just one phrase like this in their talk, but that's all they need to do. Just one idiomatic phrase.
So that's what I enjoyed about it.
So we've been talking.
Okay, and there's one more word I'm going to show you that helped her get a band 9. Funnily enough, just one word.
Max, that experience is really
If I can find it again.
at home. It was like a big step for me. I learned this recipe online. Like I just skimmed through a random website and I started following the.
Okay, Huang Ang.
Yes.
What does to skim through something mean? What does to skim through something mean?
I think it's surfing, maybe surfing or going across.
Yeah, surfing. Yeah, surfing or just reading quickly, just reading or looking quickly. Okay, so a little bit different from surfing. Surfing means to go through lots of different things, whereas skimming just means to look at one thing, but very quickly, to read something quickly. Does that make sense, Wang Ang?
Yes.
Okay, good.
The recipe, and I actually had a bit of help from my cousin. The reason why I chose this food to prepare was because my dad really enjoys pasta arrabbiata. He wouldn't eat any other type of pasta except that for some reason. It doesn't have any like meat. It's just literally pasta.
Okay, this is the word I want to show you all. Just literally pasta and sauce. Okay, if you use this word literally, okay, which is an adjective or might be an adverb. Yeah, maybe adverb. Literally, okay, is a great indicator that you are very fluent in English. Literally means this is exactly what it is. This is exactly what it is. So pasta arrabbiata is literally pasta and sauce. That is exactly what it is and nothing else. Ming Nok.
Yes.
Okay, when I ask you how you are, Ming Nok, you often say to me you are fit as a fiddle. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, but you are not literally as fit as a fiddle because you can't be. That doesn't make sense. Does that make sense? So fit as a fiddle is just a term of speech. Okay, you are not really. You don't. A fiddle is like a violin. You don't really look like a violin, Ming Nok, I think. Okay,
Yes.
so it is not literally true. Does that make sense?
Yes, I got it.
When you use the adverb literally, it means this is exactly what happened. Another phrase you might have heard in English is raining cats and dogs. Nok Ling, have you ever heard of this, Nok Ling?
Yes, I have.
Okay, raining cats and dogs means it rains heavily. It rains very heavily. But that is not literally true, is it? It never rained. Cats and dogs never fall from the sky. Okay, so it's not literally true. If you use the adverb literally, it means what you are describing is exactly true. Okay, so for example, you might say it's cold outside. It's literally freezing, which means everything is covered in ice. If you say literally freezing, you are using freezing meaning, yes, it is freezing. That is absolutely true. Okay, everything is covered in ice. It is literally freezing. If you say it's hot outside, it's literally on fire, okay, then that means all the buildings are on fire. Kwang Ming, does this make sense to you?
Yes.
How to use the word literally. And using the word literally correctly is one word that will help you get a good score in speaking, because only good English speakers know how to use this word correctly. All right. So if you say, it's so hot outside, it's literally on fire, it actually means everything outside is burning. Okay. So if you use the word literally, it means this is absolutely true. So pasta arrabbiata is literally pasta and sauce. Okay, so that means there's only pasta and sauce in this dish, nothing else. So that is how you use the word literally. All right, everyone. Enough of that. For the rest of the lesson, we're going to do some speaking on the same topic. Okay, everyone. So you can see the topic here. Same topic she had. Describe a food and drink that you learned to prepare. I want you to talk about this with me for 1 minute. Okay, and because it's only 1 minute, I just want you to tell me a story for 1 minute. Okay, a story for 1 minute about some food or drink that you learned to prepare. Remember, excuse me, you don't have to use these bullet points. You can make your own bullet points. But obviously you have to tell me what food or drink it is. But you need to tell me a story associated with preparing a food and drink. Like the student you just heard, she talked about how her mum was away. She had to make this food for her father. Okay, and that she's not a very good cook, so this is the food she chose to make. She looked up the recipe online. This is what is in this dish, okay, and this is how she made it. Okay, so she told a little story about how this food that she had to prepare and make and why she had to do it. So that's all I want you to do for me now for 1 minute. Okay, everyone, just 1 minute. So just the story. I just want to hear you telling me a story for 1 minute. All right, we're going to go in this order. Everyone, Kwang Ming, Phung Leduk Ang, Bao Lang, Chung Hu, Huang Ang, Ting, Nok Ling, Leduk Ang, Ming Nok. I think that is everyone. Is there anyone I've missed out? So the order again, Kwang Ming, you should almost be ready to go. Kwang Ming, Phung Leduk Ang, Bao Lang, Chung Hu, Huang Ang, Ting, Nok Ling, Leduk Ang, Ming Nok. All right, 1 minute describing some food or drink you learned to prepare. and I want you to focus on telling me a story, just like she did. Kwang Ming, are you ready?
I think so.
Okay, Kwang Ming. I asked you first because I thought you would be ready, okay? I know how quick you are. All right, I'm just setting my timer. Kwang Ming. Okay, Kwang Ming, you have 1 minute starting from now, please.
So this was when my family was away from home, and I only at home and um as far as I know, I don't have very much experience on cooking, so I'm only search on YouTube which is the easiest way to cook, and I see there's a fried rice. I think it's kind of easy because it's the combination of all rice, some egg, and some small same too. So I it's the first time I cook it, so the taste is not really good. But when I practice more, it's like a fun flavor, and I think it's much more delicious. Um,
Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute, Kwang Ming. Not bad, not bad. So the only bit, you only got lost a little bit, about 10 seconds from the end, okay, when you forgot the next bit you were going to talk about. All right, you paused a little bit too long near the end there. Sounded like you a little bit lost. But the first part was very good, Kwang Ming. Okay, so you had a good topic. You started to tell me the story about how you are not a very good cook, but you decided to try the fried rice, and this is how it was made. Okay, and then you went on to tell me how it tasted. So that's good, Kwang Ming. Okay, and always hard to go first. I know you don't have much time to prepare. Any question, Kwang Ming, for me? Kwang Ming, oi. Disappeared.
yes.
Okay, Kwang Ming, do you have any questions for me about my comments?
No, no.
Okay, so just to improve, Kwang Ming, you started off very well. Okay, you have the right idea. It's good. All right. So you just have to remember the different parts of your story. Okay. So why you had to do this? Okay. And then what it was you chose to do. All right. How do you do it? How do you do it? And then what was it like? What did it taste like? All right. Just have to remember all those in order, Kwang Ming. All right. Next is Fong Le Duc Ang and Bao Lang. Fong Le Duc Ang, are you ready?
Yes, I'm ready, man.
Okay, 1 minute starting from now, please.
Okay, so when it is 6 or 7 months ago, it is so summer, and it's so hot. Even I'm in a home. So went I went into the kitchen, opened the fridge, and find something to drink. Is so nothing, is water is available. And I also found some orange. Then my first thing come in my is I'm made orange juice. Unfortunately, in my home, I don't have a blender, so I have to squeeze it by hand. When I finish,
Okay, that's 1 minute. Thank you, Fong Duc Ang. Okay, good. Okay, doing well, Fong Duc Ang. Okay, the story you are telling is very coherent. Okay, makes sense. Okay, and your fluency pretty good. All right, and not many mistakes, Fong Duc Ang.
yes,
All
thank
right,
you.
and the other thing I liked was you were talking very naturally. Okay, you weren't going too fast. Kwang Ming.
Yes.
Yeah, one thing I forgot to mention, Kwang Ming, you can slow down a bit. You can go a bit slower, okay? Remember, the student in the video we watched, she was going quite slowly, okay?
Yeah.
So, yeah, you were speaking a little bit fast, so you can slow right down. Is okay. Thank you, Quang Ming.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, Phong Duc Ang. Any questions, Phong Duc Ang?
No, thank you.
Okay, good. Bao Lang, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. By the way, after Bao Lang, Chang Hu, Huang Ang, and Ting. Okay, Bao Lang, you have 1 minute starting from now, please.
So when it comes to some food or drink that I learned to prepare, I immediately think about a traditional food that call it spring roll that my grandmother taught me a few years ago. Actually, I'm a person who really bad at cooking, especially some complicated foods such as, some traditional food like that. In that date, for a few years ago, when I visit my grandmother in Tate vacations, at Tate vacations, so she taught me how to make that dish. Actually, it has a lot of ingredients such as carrot, noodles, mushroom, and eggs and meat, pork meat too. I saw her fry all of the ingredients in a really big pan, and she gave me to like grab it in a really big rice paper.
Okay, 1 minute. 1 minute, Bao Lang. Okay, so Bao Lang, you have slowed down a lot, Bao Lang. Great. Okay, much slower than you used to be. So that's really good, Bao Lang. And good story. Okay, just remember past tense, Bao Lang. Okay, I heard you say at one stage, when I visit my grandmother, when I visited my grandmother. Okay, any questions, Bao Lang?
No.
Okay, good. Again, Bao Lang, you're sounding now more natural. That's good. That's great. Okay, Chang Hu, Huang
Yeah, yeah.
Ang, Chang Hu, Huang Ang, and Ting. Okay, Chang Hu, are you ready?
Teacher, hold on a moment. My team is calling.
Okay, we'll come back to you. Huang Ang. Huang Ang.
I guess I'm ready.
I'm sure you are, Huang Ang. Okay, you have 1 minute starting from now. Thank you, Huang Ang.
Okay, so I want to share you my experience about cooking a meatball for the first time. And my teacher then was my mother since 8 years ago. There was not online recipes as they do not have now. So first I try blending the meat, but I was too short to reach the blender, so my mom has to take it for me. And the second part is frying it. My mom gave me the fork to try to holding and mix it. And I thought I did pretty well, but when I tasted it, it was a little bit overcooked. Although it was not a good meal, I found it really interesting to have like a memorable experience with my mother.
Okay, almost 1 minute. Okay, Huang Ang. So, Huang Ang, great story. Great story, Huang Ang, and plenty of description. Okay, I can see you being too short to reach the blender, so your mum had to get it for you. So that was good, and good use of language too, Huang Ang. So good. Any questions, Huang Ang?
No, I don't have any.
Okay, good. Good job. Chang Hu, are you ready yet?
Yeah, I think I am.
Okay, so you have 1 minute, Chang Hu, starting from now, please.
Okay, so the first food that I learned to cook. So last year, my mom went on a vacation, and due to the fact my dad got busy from school, I have to be the one in charge for cooking. Although it was my first time actually cooking something by myself, so I decided to go for some food that is easy to do. Which is with noodle. So at first, oh no, with spaghetti. So at first, uh, everything I prepare and how I cook was perfectly fine until I realized that the noodle is a bit, no, not a bit. It was too overcooked, that it doesn't taste the same way anymore, even if I put the ketchup on. So in the end, I give up on the cooking noodle and
Okay, Chung Hu, that is 1 minute. All right, very good, Chung Hu. Okay, again, good story. Okay, and you are telling it well, Chung Hu, and not many mistakes with your vocabulary either. So the one thing I would get you to do, Chung Hu, just relax a little bit more. Okay, you can just relax a little bit more. Any questions, Chung Hu?
no.
Okay, that was good. Okay, so next is Ting, then Nok Ling, Laduk Ang, Ming Nok. Ting, are you ready?
Yeah, I think I'm ready.
Okay, 1 minute. Ting, starting from now, please.
Honestly, I don't have many experience, and I don't like too much about cooking. On the one day in March 2024, when my parents didn't didn't at home to make the lunch for me. When I from school to go to home, I check my wallet and it don't have enough money to buy food. Then I check my fridge and I see something to make fried rice. Um, I searching on the internet how to make fried rice, and I see the recipe in the website. I clicked to that, but I didn't understand what they talking. Then I pulled out. I see some videos on YouTube to make that, and I do the same.
Okay, that's fine, Ting. Okay, Ting. So that's, again, Ting, that's good. So very fluent, very coherent. All right, good story. Just making just some vocab mistakes, Ting. For example, my parents weren't at home. I think you said my parents didn't at home. Okay?
Yeah.
So it's my parents weren't at home, were not at home. But otherwise, that was good, Ting. Good story. Thank you. All right, who was next? Knockling. Knockling.
Yes.
Okay, Knockling, you have 1 minute starting from now, please.
The first dish I have learned to cook in my life is instant noodle. When I was 10 years old, one day my parents were absent from home for 2 days, so I need to cook by myself. At that time, um, I tend to cook some food which can quickly prepare, so I choose instant noodle. So first, I went to the supermarket to choose the ingredients. Because I hadn't gone to shopping um before, so I was hesitate to choose the ingredients. After that, I decided to choose some ingredients like instant noodle packs, vegetable, eggs, and some meat. Um, Next, I came home and I boiled egg and
Okay, that's 1 minute already, Knockling. Okay, 1 minute. So that's good. Very fluent, Knockling. Good story. Okay, good.
yes.
You are speaking very naturally, so that's fine, Knockling. And I could tell you could easily, I think, talk for 2 minutes, Knockling, which is good. All right, you are only partway through your story, so that's all good, Knockling. And your grammar is pretty good, 90% correct. Any questions, Knockling?
No, thank you.
Okay, good, Knockling. All right, so next we have just two more, everyone. Leduk Ang and Ming Nok. Leduk Ang, are you ready?
Yes.
Okay, 1 minute, starting from now, please.
I did like to share about my cooking story. That is, one day, my grandfather teach me how to do stir fry meat. Although I wasn't ready, but I was surprised on how easy was it, and the taste was out of thin air. Well, at least for me. And the first step to make it is to marinate the meat. After the oil is hot enough, put yellow onion and garlic. Then put the marinated meat into the pan. After everything is almost cooked, put in put in
Okay,
the
thank you, Laduk Ang. That's already 1 minute. Very detailed recipe, Laduk Ang. Could you say that from your mind, Laduk Ang? I hope you're not reading that, are you?
No.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Your recipe very detailed. That's great. Good detail. Again, you are speaking at a good speed, not too fast, not too slow, very fluent. Just be careful about tenses. Remember, this is past tense. So you said, my grandfather teach me. What should it be, Ladukang?
I forgot the ed.
Yeah, no. What is past tense of teach?
S.
Can you remember what is past tense of teach? The past tense of teach.
Taught.
Yes, my grandfather taught me. Good. All right, that's good, Laduk Ang. Any questions for me?
No, I don't
Okay,
have.
so that's okay. Good detailed answer. So I think you would easily fill up 2 minutes, which is great. Okay, last one for this morning. Ming Nok.
Yes.
Thank you for waiting patiently, Ming Nok. So you have 1 minute starting from now, please.
I'll talk about the day that I first made spaghetti. First, I have to admit that I'm not a good cook, but I would try if I have a chance. So there's a day when my mother was away from home, and there were only me and my brother. It's noon, so he felt hungry, and he asked me if I can cook something. So when I find in my house, I only find a pack of spaghetti noodle and some tomatoes. So I come up with making spaghetti. That's my first time, so I feel kind of nervous, and I was worried that if he will have a stomachache when he ate my noodle. But anyway, I had to try it all. So firstly, I boiled.
Okay, thank you, Ming Nok. Thank you, Ming Nok. Sorry to cut you short because an interesting story. Very good, Ming Nok. Okay, very good story as usual. And what made that good? Because you talked about how you felt. Okay, you were nervous, and it was a little bit funny too. Everyone, Ming Nok talked about maybe she was worried she would give her father a stomachache. Is that right, Ming Nok? That's what you said?
I taught my brother.
With your cooking. Yeah, but that's good. Okay, a little bit funny. That's great, Ming Nok. Okay, make the examiner laugh. Always helps. Okay, but good speaking, Ming Nok. All right, good story. And again, easily you would talk for 2 minutes. I know. Any question for me, Ming Nok, about that?
I have no question. Thank you.
Okay, good. So that was good, everyone. You all did well with that. So you all came up with a story. And as I keep saying, a story is the easiest way to fill up 2 minutes because you just talk about your story from memory. Okay, and then you're not having to think about what to say next. Just describe the story. So that is the end of the lesson for this morning. Thank you for coming, everyone. Lovely to see you all, as usual. Next week, we will continue with more speaking, of course. We will go on to part 3. Part 3 questions. We will do a bit of practice on that just for a change. I will have more new vocabulary for you. And if we have time, I hope we have time, I'm going to start looking at writing task 1, which we haven't done for a long time. All right, everyone. Great to see you all. Hope you all have a wonderful week. And I look forward to seeing you all again next Sunday. Bye, everyone.
Goodbye,
Goodbye,
teacher.
teacher.